Hello and welcome
Hey,
back.
bitches. Okay.
Here we
Court of
are for
Frost and
the last.
Starlight again. We're going to
Yes.
finish it today.
Yes, we are. I only have a page and a half.
Listen, I have 3.5 pages, but we're still going to finish it
Jesus
today.
Christ. Okay. Okay. Anyways, we left off chapter 12, and so now we are on chapter 13, and this is Under Pharaoh.
Yes. I only said one thing about chapter 13, and it
So,
was just like Nesta clearly needs help, but
yeah.
she's also clearly not ready to accept that help yet.
Yes.
Like, and what a dick at the end. My rent is due.
I know. I was like, the
Okay, bitch.
audacity. I was like, but you know what? That's the bribe Pharaoh was looking for. It was right
Yep.
there.
That's all I had for chapter 13.
Same. Yeah, because Pharaoh went into a tavern to find Nesta and found her with drinking buddies. And
Yeah.
she was going to
And
sleep
it
with
was
them.
just a
She just
mess.
doesn't,
Yeah.
she just probably didn't have the chance at this point. Thank you, Pharaoh. You cock blocker. Um, all right, anyways, chapter 14, and this is Rezan's point of view. Man, it kind of sucks. He's like watching his city be rebuilt, but like at a slow pace, even
Yeah.
though like they're working day in and day out.
Yep. Well, and I like, so Kier is getting ready to come. Like, he's getting ready to make good on all the promises from the war. And he's going to come to Valaris. And Reese is talking to Moore about it. And he's basically trying to get her to go away because that's honestly probably what's going to be best for her, but he's not forcing it because she's like, no, because then he'll think I'm just hiding from him. And
And I think Moore is a natural born like traveler. I feel like she feels like a noose tied around her neck, just being consistently within like one place. She's getting restless. So I feel like aside from offering that tranquility to leave while her father Kier visits, just
yeah.
knowing that's going to be good for her soul was another thing behind it.
Yeah, and she asks him straight up, "You're not doing this because you think I can't handle care, are you?" And he says, "No, I think you can. I know you can, but your talents are better wielded elsewhere for now." So like he builds her up while also saying, "But you don't have to do this. Like there's no reason you
Yeah,
have to be here."
it's like fuck him. And it's kind of, I'm going to kind of reiterate this later on, but it's like you choose like who decides how you interpret life. So it's like, all right, Kira's here. Kira wants to piss you off. You're not there to like give him that satisfaction. Is that all he's gonna sit there and say, that you're just hiding from him? Fuck it.
Right, okay. Like
If
who
that's the
cares?
worst he can do, he can't see your facial expressions. He can't hear
Right.
your tone of voice when he says something that he knows is gonna piss you off. So honestly, like this is a better
Yeah, and you're off
satisfaction.
doing something important and he's just wasting away here. So who really
Yeah.
wins?
And you're enjoying life and he's stuck in the hewn city.
Yeah. And that's all I had for chapter 14.
Yeah. I didn't have anything
Chapter
for chapter
15 though.
15.
Okay, I had a little bit more for chapter 15. So on page 134, um I said, "Wow, SJM doesn't shy away from hard emotions and she does it right." Because um they're like at the Weaver at the shop. They're Elaine and Feyre are Christmas shopping or solstice shopping. And they're at the weaver who created this black tapestry that is I forget what she calls it. Void.
Uh, yeah, the void, because there's
Um
silver iridescent like thread in it, and that's hope.
yeah, and so she can't she says cuz Feyre asks her how do you keep creating and she says I can't stop because then there'll be no hope in the void. Um and I'm just like, "Ugh." And then I said again that I think Reese should buy her that studio for Solstice, and that she should share her paintings with him for Solstice. And then I had to comment on it because I was fucking dying. Auntie Amryn is out here doing jigsaw puzzles.
I love it though.
I
She
know,
is a
I can't.
cranky old person.
She really is. She's just a cranky old auntie. She's in here doing a jigsaw puzzle while Varian is out buying more presents for her. And I just crack up.
I mean, honestly,
Anyway,
if I was that old and I didn't have powers anymore, I would probably just sit there at home,
yeah. Yep.
pass my time by. Hell, they're immortal, so like, fuck it. Why
Right?
not?
Right?
Anyways,
Um
Auntie
for chapter
Aaron.
16, I just said their family's getting so big with a heart because they're like at the solstice and they're all coming in and bringing all their
They're
stuff, all their
staying, yeah.
presents.
Yeah, because the boys are here. Moore's here. Elaine lives there. The only person they don't have is Nesta. And at
And
that
Lucian.
point, they don't. Oh yeah, and Lucian. And I forget about him.
Well, because technically he's
Um,
not really part of the Court of Dreams. Like,
yeah, and he has his own apartment. It's not like, and it's within this city. It's not like Cassian who has his
yeah,
own place elsewhere. And we
right.
don't hear much
Marianne.
about Az and where he essentially
No, we
lives.
don't.
Lives in the shadows. He's Batman.
Oh no.
But
But yeah,
you know,
so I that's all I wrote about chapter 16.
I just said poor Cassian can't catch a fucking break.
Dude, he really can't.
He's just I don't know. It's he needs his own place, but he doesn't want to get his own place, but he hasn't talked to Nesta, and I think at this point they're mated, and he's just overwhelmed with that, and then having to deal with Devlin and his warmonger people. I shouldn't say that. That was inappropriate. I am so sorry to Illyria. That's rude, but like the war camps. That's what I meant. Like those people, the shitty men in the war camps. Yeah, he just can't catch a break. And it's all because of his fucking childhood. It's so sad.
Right? These three men and they're like fucked. Well, this really all the characters in this whole book and their fucked up
Yeah,
childhoods, honestly.
yeah. Let's be real. They all didn't have a good one. But chapter 17, back to Feyre.
It's Feyre's birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Feyre, darling, he says. Um, I love. Why do I feel like I'm on the wrong chapters? Chapter 7. No, chapter 17. I love that Nuala and Ceridwen have kind of taken Elaine in.
Yeah, and like
Like,
helped
she,
her.
like, works with them in the kitchen and, like, she talks and she's not alone all the time. I like it.
Yeah.
Plus, I really like their
Um,
characters. Like, I would like to know more about the Wraiths. So I
yeah, and
like,
how they like came to be involved basically.
yeah,
Um, I like how he delicately like gifted her these various things that are important to her and not like just here's some jewels, here's some this. Like he
yeah,
went out of his way to make it a decent celebration. Um
yes,
for her birthday at least. But he got her that what is it? He got her initials engraved or like imprinted or whatever on her bag, I believe it is. Um,
Yeah.
what are her initials now that she's married or connected or
Oh,
whatever with Reese? Because it's not FA, and if it is, it's like what?
right.
And it's weird. We only know like two people's surnames. The
Yeah.
sisters and Lucian, like that side. That's all we know. We don't know anybody else's. We don't even know Tamlin's, or do
Fuck
we? No,
Tamlin.
we don't. I don't know. But
I
also,
hadn't thought of that.
yeah, I just read like with my initials in there. It's like, bitch, what initials?
Right.
What
Mm-hmm.
is it? He also got her a sketchbook and some charcoal paintings that were like within that book, and basically she was like, I'm gonna sketch you, I want to do this, and she was like, well, you once said that nude would be best, and so then he's laying there in his nude as she's like sketching him, and it's like, you know what, those sketches are probably just stick figures. Because we don't really know what kind of artist she is, and if she's a
No.
painter.
Right.
I like, I was better at painting than I was drawing,
I am too.
but
I
like,
can draw, but like I'm better at painting.
yeah,
And
I
I
used to
definitely can't
be
draw
able to
people.
draw. Yo, hell no. If I, it would always be like cockeyed and like weird. Like there'd be something different. If I couldn't ever do
Yeah.
full frontal, I had to do like to the side, like like MySpace angles. That's about all I could do.
Oh my gosh.
But that's all I have for chapter 17.
I also enjoy that they go wait, is that this chapter? Do we find out that that's what they're
Chapter,
doing?
no,
Oh no, we don't. That's next chapter.
it's like I have no idea.
Oh, Lucian shows up at the end. That's another thing I had written down.
Oh, yeah, this was really weird.
Like he just shows up and yeah. But then chapter 18. Oh no, it's still we're talking about Lucian still.
Yeah, it's. I think chapter 18 is basically all Lucian. It's just from Feyre's point of view.
Yeah,
And you know
well
what?
until the end of
The
it.
tur or the tur is being teed. The tea is
The
being
T. Oh my
stirred.
gosh, the C. It's
The
like a
tea
disease.
the tea is being stirred by Lucian. He's just like, you know what, Feyre, you're an asshole.
Yeah, basically. Oh my gosh. And but she is like trying to be in his business because he talks about how he's living with Jurian and Vasa right now and all of that. And she just tries to get in everybody's business.
Well, and I think it's really rude of her too to be like kind of pissed off at the fact that he's not there, regardless of the fact that her mate is like that his mate is there.
Mm-hmm.
That I think she's just pissed off that he doesn't try. And it's like he was essentially kicked out of his one family. He knows
Yeah.
what happened with you and understands it, but like he essentially stayed with Tamlin based on loyalty because that's where he's like that's family. It's kind of like you take a DV victim and you tell them like you need to leave. Like, why aren't you leaving that person? Like he beats you up. It's like, bitch,
Right.
where is that person going? They have no money. Like they're stuck. And that's kind of how
Right.
Lucian was.
Right. Well, and then she's trying to push him to like come stay and spend time with Elaine. Elaine is still healing. Granted, she's healed a lot, but like she is
Yeah.
still not quite there yet. She's not ready
She's not open.
to accept that mating bond. And if he tries to push it, she might completely like renounce it.
Yeah,
And
and
then
that's
what?
exactly
Like,
what he's doing. He's giving her space, like a good
yeah.
person.
So just stay out of it, Farah. Like get out of here. Get a life.
It's like the whole more and an as thing. She needs to butt out.
Yes.
Um,
Also, Oh, then she goes and tries to talk to Elaine about it, and like,
And then she
stop.
shuts down.
Right.
She's like, he doesn't even know me. Well, you don't even bother to try. Bitch, you literally just told
Right.
Lucian that he's still like she's still healing. Like you can't sit here and tell him one excuse and then not allow
Right.
her to have that exact same excuse, specifically when you're
Yeah.
talking about her.
Feyre just gets up. Like, not that I wouldn't also want to help, but like, sometimes you just got to let people live their own lives. Like, you can't force anything,
Yeah.
even if you are high lady. Um,
Ow.
but yeah, the last thing I said about this chapter was the snowball fight. I just love that their big tradition that Cassian as and Reese, their big tradition that they like left for that morning was a snowball fight, and
I
I
honestly I
crack up.
forgot that happened. I for some reason was thinking it was like they went hunting or something like that at the cabin. I knew it had something to do with the cabin, but I thought it was like a hunting thing. And then all of a sudden it's just snowballs, like the super innocent, like the
Right?
most feared
Illyrian
warriors.
babies, indeed.
Yeah, in like Prithian's history, they're doing snowball fights.
Yeah,
It's so funny. It's just innocence. It's
it
like
is.
those poor babies.
I love it though. Oh my gosh.
Oh, chapter 19. This shit made me snort. It was so good.
Yes. Yes.
So More and Az are at the are at the
I just read
cabin.
the line.
And they're, they've been inside being warm, drinking, doing whatever while everyone's outside uh doing the snowball fight. And so as one, and they're coming in and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna go do another tradition. And basically it's just they are all in this birchen,
Which is basically like a
naked.
sauna, right? Like
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They're sitting together in the steam, just sweating, just all naked, just sitting together, sweating. And Faye was like, what? That's another tradition. Like, just really confused and trying to do everything. And so Reese, through the bond, is like talking to her, like, oh, you want to take a look? And then she's like, ugh, just go back to sweating. Well, there's room for one more. And she's like, "Wait, I thought mates were territorial." And then he's like, "Nah, I'm eager to learn all your fantasies." And then she's just like, "Okay, well, I was promised a wall before." And he's like, "Wait, I've done that before." And she goes, "No, these walls." And it's so funny because at this point he started thinking about it, and he's like, "It's bad form to be at attention while in the virgin." So he's literally fucking hard in front of Az and Cassian, and all of a sudden they hear a yelp, and Moore just goes, "You got him kicked out, didn't you?" And it's like,
My
damn.
answering smile set her roaring, and I'm just cracking up.
Oh man, it's. I snorted so much. Will was on the phone too, and I was like trying to hold it in, trying to like block all sound coming out of me, but I couldn't do it.
Oh no,
It
I
was great.
chuckled out loud. Out loud, I chuckled. Oh
But
my
you know what?
gosh.
At the end of this chapter, though, it's the day of solstice, and they're all gathered around, having a grand old time, doing cake, getting presents.
And
Then
the
the doorbell
cake.
comes. Yeah, the
The
cake
cake
was
is
so
so
cute.
sweet.
Elaine, just the
There's three
sweetest.
different tiers of the cake, and the top one is flowers, and the middle is flames, and the bottom is stars because
Because
that's what
she's
their
their
dresser
foundation.
was. Yeah, how freaking
It's so
sweet,
cute.
Elaine.
And you know what? Then Nesta shows up, and it's like,
What a bitch.
here we are. And she's like, carry on. I don't care what you
Right?
guys are doing. Just do it. Whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I'm here to get my rent paid. Go ahead, keep doing whatever you were doing. Don't mind me.
And at this point, like, there's so much shit that has happened in between that conversation and what's happening right now. I completely forgot about that.
Right?
So I
Oh my
was
gosh.
like, oh man, she's actually turning a new leaf, and then it hit me, and I was like, oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
Um, how cute is Elaine? Elaine is so cute in this chapter. She is the sweetest little thing, even though she's the middle child. She's the sweetest. She gets a gift for Az,
Yes.
and she's like, "It's for your headaches. Everyone always gives you since you rub your temples so often."
Yes. It's so freaking cute.
And it's like, hmm. I think he's just exasperated at Elaine, but you know what? That's sweet
Right?
nonetheless.
I freaking love
And
it.
he, like, the quietest of them all, just laughed, like, head back, losing it. And it was just
Yes.
like a sweet moment because it really just kind of like we got to see Elaine's, personality, a little side of her, like compassion, despite everything that's happening. Because I don't think she got anybody else's gifts except for like Feyre. I think she
Right.
got the Wraiths their own like sweater, scarves, things, and then Feyre, of course, Nesta, of course, and then fucking Cassian or the Az.
Which was it was hilarious. I even said I get it. I get it now, Elaine and Az. I like it.
Right? It's so cute. No offense, Lucian, but like, go away.
Yeah, I know. Eh,
I think another Sarah J. Moss's book. I think it's in the same timeline and universe as Akatar, and I think in that one, Az gets a mate.
oh,
I think. I don't necessarily know because obviously I haven't read any of her other books,
right.
but I believe he gets a mate. I believe because everyone's always pairing him up with like somebody named Gwen or something like that. So I don't
Okay.
know if that's in the next book or if that's in a whole other. I thought that person was from a different book series, like of
Hmm.
hers. So I don't know. But there's
I
hope
do not
out
know.
there. Unfortunately,
Well,
it's
good.
not Elaine. I know, right? Although I do get what you meant by it would be a little cliche that the three brothers get with the three sisters. Like I get that.
Yeah,
It's
it would.
predictable. But and maybe that's why she hinted so much with like Elaine and Az
Yeah.
piss everybody off. Okay. Anyways, that's all I had for
The last thing I had was after Nest is about to leave and Feyre gives her the check for her rent. Um,
Oh,
and
bitch.
then she leaves. And then all of a sudden, the floorboards are thudding behind me, and then I was gently but forcibly moved to the side. It happened so fast, I barely had time to realize that Cassian had gone storming past right out the front door. So, like, Cassian's going after her, and I'm just like, yeah, Cassian, go get
Cassian's
that
like,
bitch.
I've had enough of this bitch. I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. And then just like, she's such a bitch to him.
I know.
Like,
And it kind of makes me wonder because that's kind of how all the sisters were. Like, I wouldn't say Elaine was a bitch to Lucian, but she was definitely not nice, not
right,
forthcoming with like being nice. And then we all know how Feyre felt with Reese, and that was before the mating bond.
right.
Um, so I guess I kind of get it because she's also going through the trauma of what occurred to her. Things are different, and her father is now dead, which I think she's also taking the hardest out of everybody. And just shit. I think she's just traumatized right now, and everybody's going through the same.
Yeah. I,
It's just
ugh.
sad because like Elaine and Farah both went through it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I wish she would just let them
Try,
help her.
yeah, at least
Like,
try to.
but instead she's just a bitch about it, which I get. Like, I get retreating into yourself and pushing everyone away. I very much get that. But like, also they keep coming back, so at a certain point you gotta let them in.
Yeah, you kind of, whether or not you want to, you let them in.
Also, okay, so this is in chapter 22, the next chapter. Um, all of the gowns that Reese has got her this whole time, his mom made
I
them.
know. And you know, he's like, "Is that weird? Like, that's not weird, is it?" Uh, and basically, she's like, "No, no, that's great. Like, I'm honored." And it's like, you know, it would be kind of disturbing if it was a different female, if it was somebody not
Right,
family related, like an old
right,
girlfriend or an old something or another. But it's like, it was his mom. That's not
right,
disturbing in the least, especially not since they all fucking lived for years on years.
right. I mean, I get why he would be worried that she would think it was weird because his mom is dead, like, and wearing clothes that a dead person made, but like,
It's not like she wore
meh.
them.
Right. It's not like they were her clothes. She made them for Farah.
His,
Like,
yeah, for his future
yeah.
whoever, mate, wife. I mean, it's the same thing with the ring. Like she literally
Yeah.
was like, whoever is going to be worthy enough of you is going to go into this place and get this ring. It
And like,
was
I feel like that's the same. We do that a lot. People pass down their like
heirlooms.
jewelry and stuff like that. Maybe not clothing, but
A lot of
it's
people
still
wear their
stuff.
parents' or grandparents' like wedding dresses.
Yeah.
So
So you're
like,
still wearing something that a dead person has had or worn or used, or
yeah.
so it's not that weird.
Yeah, I only think it's weird if it's not like if you it holds sentimental value, but that person was not related to you in any way.
Right,
That
right, right,
right, then
right.
it's just like, what's your problem?
And you're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, weird.
Um, and then they decide they're gonna start trying to have a baby
Uh, yay! It's so cute.
because she's that's kind of part of his solstice present, like kind of.
Yeah, I think when she was talking to the weaver in the shop, I think when she was like, "We never had a chance to have kids," and she just sat there and was like, "That could have been us." Like,
Right.
I know I said this once upon a time, but like, now I want it because like, what if?
Well, and the other thing about like being Fae and having kids is that like they still mature at the same rate as like a human, right? So by the time they're like 30, they're probably going to be like, I mean, she's only 21, right? And she's living on her own. And so, like, by the
And
time their
they're
kid grew up,
filthy fucking rich. Like, it's
that's
not
what
a
I'm saying.
problem.
Like, she wanted to be able to spend time with just Reese before they had kids, but like, you're going to have your kids are going to grow up, and then you're still going to have thousands of years together. So, like,
You live for eternity. Like,
right. Like, it doesn't actually, it's not like having
I can
kids is the end of your
understand, like,
life.
right. I can understand, like, being a, like, female, a human female, where you have, like, a deadline for kids, like your own personal kids, but you also have, like, a death date. I mean, I
Right.
get
Like,
that.
yeah,
But
that's different.
they were married for, like, 400 years before, like, he passed. So, I mean,
Yeah. So, yeah.
get on it, Farah, so you can have the cute little baby. Although the concept art that I've seen, kid's a little creepy looking.
I can see that. I can see
I
that for
mean,
sure.
I feel like my version of him is absolutely adorable because it's similar to how I believe Reese would look. But like the concept art for the bone carvers version is just like
Well,
dead
I feel
eyes
like
staring at
it's
you.
supposed to be creepy though, right? Because it's the bone carver,
Yeah,
not actually.
it's the bone carver like pretending to be their future child. Ugh,
Yeah.
weird. Anyways,
And then he gives her solstice gift, which is fucking ridiculous. Like I can't even.
all the sex, all of it.
Yeah, there's lots of sex, first of all.
I like
Lots
she's
of
like,
sex.
I'm so glad I made it a fairy because he was hard within a second. And it's like, what?
Like, whoa.
Why you gotta say that?
Whoa. Whoa.
Why do you gotta say that in a world where people are mated and the mating bond legitimately like enacts like a feral process of hormones and sex? Like
Right.
that's and then and then she's like, "Can you fuck me in my mind?" And it's like, "Oh,
Oh,
how
and
do
then he
you do
does.
that?"
What?
And then she's
Oh
like, and
no.
then it was just explosions. There was no body. There was no. This was just souls seducing each other. I was like,
Yeah, it got weird a little bit for a minute there. I actually didn't write anything about it, I think, because it went a little weird.
I know. I was like, what am I? What would I say about this other than it's weird?
Yeah.
I mean,
We went a little left.
kudos for
Yeah.
the the idea, but
Right,
what?
right?
I mean, the like the scene itself was very like hot and heavy, and it was. I was like,
And
yeah, I would
intimate, yeah,
enjoy
like
this, yeah. But then when she was like, "Can you fuck me in my mind?" It's like, what?
yeah, you're like, what,
You
huh?
literally want him to like destroy the walls, like take the picture frames down. How is this gonna happen?
Right? But then it
Kudos
does.
to yeah,
It
like kudos
does.
to any guy who can actually hold up a female up against the wall, like one hand
I
on the
just
hip, like
don't
the
feel like that would be comfortable at all.
no, not. I don't know if how it would be for the female, but I don't as a like male, I don't think it would be comfortable
I don't think it'd be comfortable for anybody.
because you have to like some people can't like have sex standing up or do anything like that because like if the sex is good, then like maybe their knees get wobbly. So then they're
Right.
like standing there trying to hold on to the female and then like don't your arms get tired? Like is your hand up against the wall? Like are you just leaning into her who's up against
Right.
the
Like,
wall?
what is happening?
Is she like
I just love that because no one else is going to be able to see what you did. They're just going to hear the.
I was like imagining like the female back and like the wall just like slapping together. Like that's not comfortable. Like
No,
get a
none of
sex
that's comfortable.
swing.
And then, like, I mean, I feel like your head's going to hit the wall. Like, I just.
She even mentioned that. She's like, "Yeah, my head thudded on the wall." And it's like,
None of that sounds
"Are you
pleasant.
okay?"
Right. Like, do you need
Concussion.
help? You need an ice
Like,
pack or something? Shit.
yeah, like the getting there and then the like the weird moments around it was just kind of awkward, but like the actual like sensual part of it was good. I enjoyed that, but I was like, what the hell is happening? And then Reese the next day is like, the sex destroyed me. I can't walk, man.
Basically, yeah, he's like a hot
Utterly
mess.
ruined me. What a drama queen.
Oh my
Shut the
god.
fuck up. You
But
just had
before
sex
that,
in the mind and in.
right? Before that, he gives her her solstice present, which is like fucking land to build a house on and to build
Oh,
whatever house she wants. Like,
yeah. And it's so cute because he's like, she's freaking out because it's so much space and it's so much money and like, what am I gonna do? And he's like, build a house with a painting studio, build a house with a bathtub big enough for two and for wings, build a house with rooms for all of our family, build a house with a garden for Elaine, a training room for the Illyrian babies, a library for Amryn, and an enormous dressing room for more. And then like the like ending to the piece de resistance, build a house with a nursery, Feyre. And then she's just like, huh, my ovaries
yes.
exploded. I will do that for you, sir. Yes, I will do it for the future of my child.
Yes, exactly. She's like, yes. Then she finally relents and is like gonna design this ridiculous house.
Yeah. She's like, all right, fine. I got you, bitch. But
And then um Reese needs to go to the spring court. This is a really short chapter, chapter 23.
yeah,
Reese goes to the spring court to check on Tamlin and let him know that um, Tarquin is going to send soldiers to protect the border to the human world. And Tamlin is just a bitch. Like, I don't think that there
he's
are many irredeemable characters, But Tamlin is just a shit. Like, I can't.
I know he's like sitting there being a barbarian, and like Reese is like, all right, I gotta be play nice. Lucian was right. Like I gotta do this, and then he's like trying to help him not be such an asshole, and
And
then
like
all of a
forcing
sudden,
him to eat and like,
yeah, and then
ugh.
he's just like, do you think she'll forgive me? What? Where did this come from, sir? Where did this come from? It's been a
Right.
year.
Like,
What the fuck do you
oh, are
mean?
you
Do you think
feeling
she'll
like a
forgive
fucking
me?
shitbag? Like,
Yeah, like, do
are you
you see
feeling
why?
guilty?
Yeah, do you see why her like urge for revenge has like occurred?
Then
He's like, do you
do
want her to?
you do you forgive me for your mother and sister?
I never
Reset.
heard an apology.
Right, bitch. What? No. N- No. Forgive who? You? No.
Right? And then he's like, I don't think one will make a difference, anyways, for either of you. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, and so
And
basically
that's,
Tamlin is just
yeah,
sitting here wasting away to death because he's useless and he's finally realized that he's worthless and so now he's
he's the shell of a male.
yeah. So there's a dead elk on the table for whatever fucking reason.
That's his
Um
lunch.
yeah, so Reese
And it's
just
just, the blood's just dripping onto the floor like a
right,
human.
like
Like,
fucking
what
gross.
the
Like
fuck?
what are you doing, sir? So Reese just uses his mind magic and like um guts and cooks the elk and is forcing Tamlin to eat because um you know he's got to eat so he doesn't die so they don't have to worry about his
And where his power is going to go, and so that they
yeah
can
all of that because he doesn't
make a
have any
truce.
like offspring so where would his power go like
You know, that would be a good book.
mhm.
Tamlin dies. What happens afterwards?
That'd be a good book. Tamlin dies. The end.
Short story. Tamlin died. And the powers went someplace else. The end.
The end.
Academy Award winning author needs to get on that. I got you.
Oh my gosh. No, it'd be really cool though if the power like went to like split itself between his subjects or something like something cool like that. I don't know.
All of his subjects are like some subjects.
Hmm. I don't know.
Because I feel like all the subjects, that'd be kind of like
A lot.
his powers. His,
Yeah.
I'm going to
His
turn into a beast
beastie.
power. His angry,
Yeah.
like, powers. Those powers you're talking about?
Yeah, that's true. His powers are kind of lame.
He's a beast for a reason. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, he is. Um, also, I didn't write anything about chapter 24, but I really enjoyed like the fact that it was Moore's like part of it.
Yeah.
And basically
Well,
we just see that she really likes horses and she likes riding.
and she has a place where she can go. I was like, it would be so amazing to have somewhere that you could just go to be alone for a little bit when you need it.
Yeah.
Cause like I love our
Fucking rich
house and
people.
like I love our family and I love like our lives. But every once in a while you just need time to be alone. And like
And
I don't mean
sometimes
like go in a
I
room
don't
by
want to be,
yourself and be alone.
yeah,
I
I don't
mean
want to be
like
out in
be
public.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go someplace quiet, but not in public. With my own space, my own place.
Right. Which is getting better now because Brittany's back in class, so like every once in a while I'll beat everyone home. So that's always nice. But every once
Will
in a while
works
you
from
just
home.
need a few minutes of alone time.
My alone time is in my car before I enter work or after I get out of work.
That too, but that doesn't really count either.
No, because it. You only get a few minutes before it starts getting weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
And
what
it's
about
like you're in your car, so like It's not like you're alone because anybody could just walk by your car. Like,
Yeah, and you're really limited to what you can do.
right.
I can't paint in my car. I
Exactly.
could sing. And that's about it. I can't do anything else though.
I usually listen to
Uh,
audiobooks while I'm driving now.
sure. Um, she made a comment about seeing something in the woods and about how like things from ancient times like prowl the woods. I wonder if it's Briaxes,
Ooh,
what she's
yeah.
looking at.
It could be.
Because like we only hear stories about what could be out in the woods, never what is out in the woods. But like this is the first time that it was mentioned that something was watching her.
Yeah,
And I wonder
could
if it's
be.
Briaxes. I mean, he was essentially the protector of the library of people who were hurt one way or another. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was essentially watching over
Right.
more because she was also a victim.
Yeah, I
I
could
could
see
also
that.
be pulling that out of my ass, but
Well,
I like
it
that.
makes
I like
sense.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And then at the end of that chapter, I just said she's feeling like should she go um and do all of these traveling for Reese, and yes, you should go do it more. Like that's going to be good for you.
and it's not like he's telling her like she's got to be away for like months at a time. Like she can go be away for a little bit and then come back and stay for as long as she needs.
Yeah.
It's not like how Lucian has been gone for fucking months, back for a day and gone for months.
Right. Yeah.
He's just trying to help her not be so restless.
Yeah, and I think like it would be helpful to him as well. So it's not like he's just asking her to do it to give her busy work. Like it would actually be useful.
Yeah.
Um the next chapter. Uh, hmm.
I didn't have anything written. I just thought it was like I like the idea of what's happened in the chapter.
Yeah, like they gave her Paulina's family gave her Paulina? Yeah, Paulina's family gave her the studio,
Wouldn't
which
take money
Paulina
for it,
is
nothing.
the one who died. Yeah. Um and it suggested instead
And
that
Faye's
she
been in
give
there.
yeah.
Just painting, like
Yeah,
as
she's
if
already
it
been
was
in there
hers.
using it. So like they go ahead and give it
Fuck
to
it.
her since she's already kind of
Right.
taken over it. Um so they go ahead and tell her to just give the money to the Brush and Chisel, which is the charity for artists in need of financial help. Which is such like a revolutionary fucking idea. Like a
Yeah.
charity that allows artists to create because let's be fucking real, the world doesn't go round without artists. Like books, book covers, like there are probably 8 or 9 artists that worked on this book.
Merchandising, the way that
Right,
like
like
the reason why you buy certain things is because of the way it looks. You're just like, oh yeah,
right.
I totally want that.
And like just looking around my room right now, like I have a puzzle, a Thomas Kincaid puzzle. Thomas Kincaid is an artist. Granted, he's a famous artist and he's probably rich, but
He
like,
did.
well, yeah, but he probably was rich.
Oh fuck yeah.
Uh,
He worked with
um,
Disney. Are you serious? He is hella rich.
right, right. And like, just thinking about it and looking around my room, like, the world doesn't go around without art. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Even your textbooks have art on them. Like,
Photography. That's art.
so, right. So, like, the idea
Colors.
of a charity that, I mean, I wish that we just paid artists enough for their um, work, but like,
Yeah.
the idea of a charity for artists to help them survive while they create is very like
Not American.
revolutionary to me. Well, yeah, it's definitely not American.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, so Reese just gives to it like a bunch of random things throughout the city, And Feyre's been looking at like the finances to see where it's all going and like what she can get involved in, but she's never heard of that. And I'm honestly surprised that Reese didn't actually like already be involved in this. I feel like he knows a lot of shit that happens at his city.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So like, why didn't he already know this? I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird because it's like that's one of her passions, and he's always about trying to make
Yeah.
her happy.
Yep. And then
Um,
she remembers the Suriel's voice when he was dying, and he said, "Feyre Archeron, a request: leave this world a better place than how you found it." And that's when she decides to ask Racina to be her business partner in this amazing business idea that they decide to do. But
and it's so
I'm
cool
getting
because
ahead of
it's like,
myself.
no, that's cool. Um, yeah, that's in a couple of chapters. I don't have anything written for chapter 26. Um,
I just
however,
like
go ahead. I
oh,
know exactly what you're gonna say.
I just like that these three like alpha males are fighting so hard for women's rights.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
I'm saying. Yeah, and
yeah,
like finally, these women are in the ring, fighting,
yes,
preparing.
yes,
It's
and like
just
they're not taking no for an answer. Like,
yeah, no.
I like it,
And
and
Cassian, of course, is like sexually frustrated. You could just tell. And then
right,
he's just like, I'm not betting on this. If he wants to do
yeah,
this and he can do that, like these girls are going to do this. And if they don't have a problem with it, then they can come say it to my face. And I was like, oh,
yeah, I know. And it's just like, yes, I like it.
but
Then back to their little business idea. Um, Rasina and Feyre are at the studio that they painted white because they want the um
artwork.
the artwork to take center stage, right?
Yeah, because they
Um,
couldn't do black because they didn't want it gloomy. Because it's going to be like a therapy kind of thing, like an art therapy idea.
yeah.
And
Except
I think
for
it's for
she did,
everybody, right? Not just kids, but anyone and everyone who wanted to join. I think they're just starting off with kids right now.
I
Is
think
that what it
so.
was?
And but she did hang up the tapestry of the hope and the void, which I thought was
Which,
awesome.
yeah, I think that is such a perfect, like, like you walk into the shop that's supposed to be built on hope, and like you see
Yeah.
that, and you're like, there it is.
Yes.
This is the whole motto of this like shop idea.
Um, and like the idea is that they are having children who were not able to talk about what they endured, especially during the war, but they're going to paint or draw or sculpt it, or create something basically as like an art therapy kind of thing to, um, yeah, help them deal with their issues. And it's free. They're not, the children don't have to pay for anything. They don't have to pay for the space, the time, the supplies,
All for
anything.
your
And
mental health.
I'm just like, ah, because I feel like so much of mental health, especially here in the United States, I know we have some listeners in Spain and like in other places in Europe, but in the United States, healthcare is fucking ridiculous. It's expensive. It's way too like I'm living the middle class life and can barely afford my mental health care. Like it's expensive. So for someone who especially had just been ravaged by war and maybe lost everything and probably not going to have a lot of money, having this option and this like available for free is huge.
And you know, it's really funny. Why do you think a lot of Americans go to other countries like Mexico, England, anything like that to get healthcare, like surgeries or anything like
Yeah.
that for simple, even simple procedures like tonsil removal? It's
Yeah.
because it's expensive as hell. My a non-invasive surgery to like where they would put like a camera down my throat would have cost me $800. And that was for an hour of their time.
Yeah. It's
$800.
crazy.
And I wouldn't stay over. I literally would go walk in, I would get the shit down my throat, and I'd walk out that day. Like
Uh
that's
huh.
it. $800 for that. And to have a baby, it's like 35,000.
Uh huh. And part of that isn't covered by insurance.
Yeah.
It's
Half the time that's
insane.
what parents have to pay.
Right. That's what actually comes out of pocket.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And there's literal videos on there where it's like they ask, I think it's like set in uh Great Britain, where it's like ask, oh, ask anybody on off the street like how much they think this procedure is or whatever, and we'll compare it. And it's like, oh, that's like 20 quid, and it's like an ambulance ride. And they're like, what is it in America? And it gives you like the accurate estimate of what one short ambulance ride would be. And they're like, fucking hell.
Yeah, there's literally
And I was
people
like,
in the
that's
United
so
States.
true.
There are literally people in the United States that wear bracelets that say like do not call 911, I have epilepsy, like
Do not
because
resuscitate. I can't afford this. Like,
well, and like if they have a seizure that is a short seizure, they don't need to go to the hospital, but if the ambulance comes and they get transported to that ambulance, they're obligated to pay for it, which is insane.
yeah. Like, I had a friend, we went to a pagan festival and she had a really bad anxiety attack. She was in this anxiety attack for like 6 or 7 hours. And no one at the festival could help her. Like, I couldn't help her. Nothing was working. And the, like a medical professional came over and was like taking her vitals and was like, hey, do you want me to call like an ambulance to take you to the hospital? Because like she could barely walk. She was very like just, she felt nauseous. She felt like the world was spinning. Like it was like as if she had taken like a hallucinogenic type of drug, even though she didn't take anything. And she's like back and forth with, I don't have insurance. I don't have insurance. I don't have insurance. Like, I can't do that. I don't think I can do that.
Right.
And then like it got to the point where like you're not getting out of this. You might have to. Like, you have no choice. She's like, I don't have insurance. I don't have anxiety meds. Like, I took one of Emily's anxiety pills because I thought it would help me with the crowds today. And I think it's just setting me off and I don't know what to do. Like, I can't get it down. And she ended up having to go to the emergency room, and literally like it took like 18 different like asking of her to get in the ambulance before she finally did. And then I had to meet her at the hospital, and it was like she kept telling me every day, she goes, I haven't got my hospital bill yet. I don't think they charged me. I was like, oh honey, they charged you, just
They
wait,
charged
it's
you. You'll
coming.
get it.
And then she finally got part of it. She got the hospital stay. It was like $500, or not even a stay, it was a emergency. Like, basically they just had her pee in a cup, they tested to see if she was pregnant, and gave her like nausea medicine and like a prescription for anxiety meds. And I was like, well, that ain't the ambulance ride. Wait for that one to come through, because
Yeah, that'll
that's a
come from a
different bill.
separate. Yeah.
That's a different
Ugh.
company.
Oh, United
So
States.
yeah, so it sucks, guys. But anyways,
It does.
last
But
chapter.
I basically was like, I money is wasted on the rich. Like I would love to have a
Yeah,
place like that where like I could just do that for free and help people.
yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, she's filthy fucking rich. She can afford it, which is great. That's exactly
Yeah,
what rich people should be doing right now. I don't
exactly.
care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. If you can afford it and you are able to keep this business up and running, like, do it.
Yeah. I I would love I'm so jealous. Like I was reading this and I was so jealous cuz I was just like I would love to be able to do that and have a business like that and
Yeah,
change
that'd be
lives.
nice.
Like,
Yeah, be real
yeah.
fucking nice.
Yep.
But last chapter until the next book.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yep.
Um,
Um,
I only wrote that I really love the quote. Um, and it's the quote at the end where it's like, to the stars who listen, to the dreams that are answered. Because that, I know it might sound cliche because it's from a book, but like, for those who really, really just struggle with life and like they just dream, like this kind of resonates with people. And I think it really helps a
yeah.
lot of people out. Like, yeah, I keep doing this. Like, my dreams are going to be answered one day. It's all part of
Yep.
that manifesting
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah.
I thought it was cute because it's really nice to see, like, um, I mean, because before that, like, we also got a glimpse of how the classes were going, which is really cute because one of them, like,
Yes.
depicted that day that Hybern attacked. And then another one was just like, I didn't like my solstice gifts.
Yes. Yes.
So
Which
it's
is so
like,
typical of children. Like that is so
right.
real.
And it's really cute too because I used to work child services and we would work with a company that would forensically interview kids in like a non-intrusive way. And sometimes they will like they'll have like a pad of paper in there, like a big huge like easel. And if they're not talking, then they'll be like, well, do you like to draw? And like basically like try to draw anything and everything to see if they would like to talk about it. It's like, oh, what is that? Oh, well, it's my mommy did this to me, and then they were like, there it is.
There it is.
Like, kids don't realize they might be sitting there saying like, I can't say this. My parents said no, or like told me not to say anything. But it's like you're drawing what you're feeling, and then you
Mhm.
just automatically say it. So art therapy really does something for people. Music therapy,
It
I don't
does.
really believe in, but I think art therapy is great. I didn't have art therapy as a child. I feel like I would have succeeded in life if I did. Well, I mean, succeeded more, I should say. Like I'm not
Oh my
thriving.
gosh.
Anyways, okay.
All
Until
right.
next
On that
time.
note, bye.
Bye.